Hey everyone, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something entirely different, something I've never done before. I'm going to ask you guys to let me know if you like this and if you want to know more about this process I'm going through right now. So basically, my husband and we are going to be selling this house and buying a new house, and I wanted to know if you guys kind of wanted to keep in touch and hear about that process and the progress we make, I guess. And yeah, so I thought I would start today, just kind of basically say why we've made this decision and what we're looking for in our next house. And I also want to ask, I don't know how specific to be. I don't know how many people would want to know like money specifics. I feel like we should talk more about money and be more open and honest about these things and how much things cost. Because I know, like, when I ride around in the neighborhood and the houses are all over $1 million, I think to myself, gosh, I really wish I understood or knew what these people did or how they could afford this. So I don't know if that would be interesting. I don't know if that would be weird. I don't know if it's offensive. I don't know if it would be this weird sort of privilege thing. I don't know. So I'm not going to go into money specifics today. But let me know if that's something you would like to know about, because I don't mind sharing. Okay, so we have lived in this house since 2010. It's a townhouse. And it's not a corner unit. It's a unit, you know, there's a unit on either side of us. We bought this pretty much at the bottom of the market after the real estate crash in 2008. So 2 years later, things were just bottomed out. And it's what allowed us to kind of feel comfortable being able to buy in this neighborhood, because I don't live in a cheap area of Atlanta or the Atlanta area. I'm definitely not going to get into specifics about where I live. And so we got to buy sort of an entry-level house here for that reason, and because we were lucky enough to still have jobs. My husband and I are both CPAs, if you want to know. So yeah, we've lived here for 8 years, basically. And this was never meant to be the forever home. We bought this mostly as an investment, hoping that buying at the bottom of the market after, you know, a decade or so, that we would have ended up making enough money off this house to be able to put a substantial down payment on what we hope to be our next and our last home purchase, at least until retirement. And we think now is a good time to cash out on this place. We've made a significant amount of money on it, and it would be very helpful moving forward in helping us buy our next house. Because like I said, this neighborhood is super, super not cheap, and the market is really high, just very pricey right now. And we want to stay here. Like, this feels very much like home. So it's just, that's how we're feeling. Another reason why we're looking to move now is that our HOA are insane. And they have been bothering us nonstop with like stupid little things. For instance, they went on this like tirade about how everyone's mailbox needed to be updated and fixed and perfect and shiny and new, and here were all the standards you needed to follow. And we did all that, and we kept getting these letters about how they were going to fine us all this money if we didn't fix our mailbox. And we're like, we sent you pictures, we fixed our mailbox, like, we don't understand what you're talking about. There was the tiniest little chip in the paint, and they were going to charge us $450 for it. And it's just been one thing after another. It's just one example, and my husband is done. He gets so upset and so angry. So we're looking to not live in an HOA neighborhood. We are also looking to have like a single family detached home where we can fence in the backyard, because we will always have dogs. And one of my dogs passed in October, last year, and one of the only regrets I really have is that I never was able to give him his own yard. So we don't want our next dogs to not get to experience a fenced-in yard, since we are able to do that for them. So, and also I just want a fenced-in yard. I've never ever had a fenced-in yard in my entire life, so it's something that it's like when you own a home, it's like these weird things you kind of aspire to, and like the fenced-in yard is just one of the things that I have always aspired to. So yeah, so I want that, and that's kind of the main things we're looking for. And we have our budget. We've spent a lot of time agonizing over our budget and what we feel comfortable affording, and we've run so many spreadsheets and analyzed how we spend and how we don't want to be super house poor. We don't mind making a few monetary sacrifices, you know, because we have a fair amount of disposable income right now that we can put towards a house. She's gonna ruin the video. Shh, shh, shh. So it's just, we're there, we're ready, and we had a realtor walk through on Friday and kind of give us a list of things to do to prepare to sell our house. And it's stressing me out. There's so much to do. I feel like because I never felt like this was my permanent home, that there are just things I didn't do here, and so now he's like, well, you should do them so you can sell it. And it's ridiculous. Like, you should buy this piece of furniture for this house to sell it that you may never need again. Because we have like a breakfast nook, and we've never put a table in it. We've just kept it kind of an open space. That's where our dogs like eat and stuff. They've told me that my nightstand needs to be more traditional because my 2-shelf bookcase will just make this house unsellable for some reason. They've told me I have to pack away my Funkos, which I mean, I knew all these things anyway. They didn't tell me anything I didn't really know. We have to paint everything back to a neutral color, which is a big task. But the realtor also liked several things because I've updated most of the lighting fixtures in the house, because there are a lot of boob lights. If you know what a boob light is, you know that they just are awful, and I donated them actually, but I've replaced most of the lighting fixtures, and so right now we have piles of like donation stuff, just trying to get rid of, because you know when you're selling your house, they want it to look staged but not lived in, so we're just getting rid of all the junk we know can't be out in the open and that we don't want anymore. That's what we're concentrating on right now, is our donation stuff. And then with the stuff that we want to keep but can't be out, that'll be phase 2. That'll be moving. We'll be renting a storage unit and putting all that stuff there, and just be living with the bare minimum and trying to keep this place clean. We have a lot of cleaning to do, but I like this phase. I don't like it, it's not fun, but I like kind of throwing away junk. I'm not sentimental when it comes to possessions. Like, my husband's always like, why are you just throwing everything away? I'm like, why not just start over? Or we don't need it, I haven't looked at it in a year. Like, I just don't get attached to stuff that way, except for my books. But even books, I'm better about these days. The realtor liked all of my books. He wants me to put them in specific places, but he liked my books. He thinks they're a selling feature. I don't know how these things are selling features when they're going with me. So yeah, we're looking to put the house on the market latest April 1st, hopefully by the end of March. That's quite a deadline, and hoping we can meet it. Other than that, we are kind of keeping our eyes on the houses that are available for sale. We have a couple of favorites that are having some difficulties being sold because they're not in desirable locations. Basically because people are racist. Literally. And I told my husband this, and he was like, no. I was like, ask the realtor. The realtor told him. But I don't mind living where those houses are. I love the houses, so we'll see if they're still in the market when we are able. Because here's another thing. we're not doing the like buy and sell at the same time because we need this money, and I just don't want to go through the financial hassle of like bridge loans and things like that. So we need this money from the sale of this house to go towards the next house. So we're going to have a temporary living situation, probably some kind of rental, maybe even an Airbnb for a couple of months. Hopefully no more than half a year. I think that we'll find something pretty quickly though. There's plenty of houses around here I like that are sort of in our budget. So we'll see. But again, let me know if you want me to continue kind of keeping you up to date, maybe do some vlogging. I don't think I can do vlogging right now because I don't have a computer and stuff available to me to edit. We'll see what I can do for you guys. If I could just make my computer work. But yeah, if you just want kind of like discussion updates about our progress and how you feel about me being specific with money. Yeah, so back to cleaning out closets. Bye guys.